It was Saturday afternoon when the group of 9 women were moored along the Echuca-Moama border.
And the party on a smaller boat going past comprised...
It's understood the men had Irish accents and they're contracted to work in the area.
So Saturday afternoon, social event, out on the Murray, around summertime. Presumably, refreshments are being had by both parties. So you've got a group of Irishmen, itinerant workers, who've had a few in one boat, and women in another boat. So that's the scene. So I'll just show the entirety of the footage that Channel 9 put in this story of the boats passing each other. This shot was taken by, looks like a fisherman, judging by the fishing rod, on the other bank, on the other side. Now, you wouldn't ordinarily just start filming two boats, so obviously there's been some kind of commotion. It's caused him to start videoing. Or the entire story of the footage, there's not that much footage, they've just taken it and built the whole bullshit story around it, because when you see how little you get to see, that's every possibility. But I'll just run with it, with the scenario that they've painted, and even then, the story is bullshit anyway. Alright, let's keep going. And as we watch, boats just going past, nothing seems to be happening from this angle here. Here's the angle from the boat. Now it's quite a distance away, and yeah, going past, they've blurred out the Irishmen in their boat. As you can see, there's a boat off in the background. There's a few people about, but it looks like something was going on.
What was meant to be a peaceful trip along the Murray soon turned sour after a group of around 9 passengers were abused by a group of men on a passing vessel.
All right, well, you've got a bit of a perfect storm here happening. A group of Irishmen, itinerant workers, had a few coming across a boat full of women. They're not just going to go past. So I don't know exactly what the exchange was, but it ended up being that apparently these men abused the women on this boat. Well, that's hardly, you know, we all get subject to abuse throughout the day on the roads everywhere. How is this newsworthy? Well, it's not yet. It's settling in for some good old-fashioned mainstream media bullshit embellishment. There's at least one outright lie, by the way. The decision starts with the title of the video, just revealed at the bottom there. Group left terrified after incident on Murray. So what's terrifying about the boat just going past and getting a bit of abuse from some drunk Irishmen?
A group of around 11 thugs on a pontoon boat.
Oh, the language is starting to change. They've gone from men, now they're thugs. They're ramping it up. Well, they might be thugs, but they can't know that from this footage.
Approached, demanding to board the women's vessel.
There was audio recorded of the whole incident, so why not just play that without the reporter talking over the top? And hear the thugs, because they're thugs now, make their demand. Because it might be the case the demand was more of a suggestion, and they're embellishing it. But let's just take the reporter's hearsay testimony, and they did demand. Well, it was unsuccessful anyway, so what difference does it make?
It was absolutely terrifying. We were really scared for our safety.
So the men are blurred out. That's because this story's bullshit. If they got identified, they'd have a lawsuit against Channel 9. They're also not identifying the other party, the women. They've all decided to be incognito. This one speaks in sort of crying sort of a tone. It was absolutely terrifying. These Irishmen in a boat go past. We were just 9 innocent Aussie women, unable to defend ourselves in a verbal. Aussie women, everyone knows they can't get into an argument. They never fire up.
Not taking no for an answer, the men started throwing bottles at the women, including one who's 7 months pregnant.
This may be a first. I've never seen it before, where the news channel shows the actual footage that confirms the words they're saying are lies. They've gone past. No one's throwing any projectiles at anybody.
They proceeded to urinate off the boat, exposing themselves and even threatening the passengers.
Oh, so I thought they blurred them out because they didn't want to get any lawsuits against them for these allegations. They might have blurred it out so we wouldn't see the urination, but even in the blurred out footage, they're all just sitting down going past. No one's at the side of the boat, genitalia on full display, pants down.
They drove into the boat.
No, they did not. They're at least 3 or 4 metres away. Unless in the highly unlikely event, they circled back and drove past multiple times and rammed the boat, drove into the boat. Well, if that was the case, wouldn't there be some damage to the boat? Wouldn't the owners be getting involved and putting in insurance claims and claims against the Irishmen?
They were death threats. They were saying, like, I hope you die, calling us really scary names.
Revved it up from sour to death threats. They were saying, I hope you die, calling us really scary names. A death threat shouldn't have been on the mobile phones, 000. Shouldn't this been like, given what happened up in Queensland on that property, shouldn't there have been like a siege situation? Shouldn't there have been cops descending from everywhere, sirens, helicopters, going after these drunk Irishmen in a boat?
The vessels belong to Moama on the Murray houseboats, the owner furious. In a statement to Nine News, he said the group were very aggressive and threatening. They returned the boat 1.5 hours late with no apology.
Given their track record in this story so far, I'd say they're embellishing the after bringing the boat back argument for bringing it back late. They wouldn't have been aggressive and threatening at the start. He would have just said, go away, you're not hiring a boat. And bring it back an hour and a half later. That's a problem if the next party was to take the boat out and they're booked. I disagree with that. They got their credit card, they would have just billed them.
Damien says police and the Maritime Services have been contacted.
And Damien says police and Maritime Services have been contacted. Well, Channel 9 aren't going to double check that? Oh, thanks for that. We'll go and speak to the police and get their side of the story. But Damien says they were. And how they were contacted? About what? Oh, yeah, they were late with my boat. Okay, thanks for letting us know. Well, they're not doing it again. All right, then. the women, I would have thought they would have reported the death threats. That's pretty serious. That's not what they say, though. But they have mentioned the police, but they're just not going to verify any of the bullshit they've put in this story. I'm just about to wrap this one up, but something's jumped out at me when I look at these two boats. So Colombo style, just one more thing. Look at the size of the boat that's moored. Now that's only got 9 women on it. And a small boat has apparently got 11 men on it. Irishmen, abusers, death threateners. Now they specifically mentioned it. They just say there were 9 passengers on that boat. And that's who the men directed their abuse to, death threats. But I would think that, I don't want to cast doubt on women's seamanship or boatmanship on the water there, but I don't think that it's a big boat. I think there's every chance there's probably men on that boat. Either the boat's owners, and they've hired it, and they supply a driver for the boat, or even men that are with the party. But they haven't mentioned them. Let's sort of throw that in. Just wonder if anyone else will be thinking the same thing. That a boat that big, much bigger than the smaller boat, would just have 9 women on it, no men. Because it would take a lot more people. If they said there were, say, 25 women on, okay, all right, well, that's a big boat then, and 25 women, maybe one of them's the driver. But 9 women. Seems a big boat for that. So I thought, and they haven't mentioned them, that they didn't jump to the rescue, they didn't sort of step in, bit of chivalry. Come on, you fucking drunken Irish bastards, piss off. Apparently the men were distracted, if they were there, doing something else, not defending the honour of the women. All right, that's it for this one. My videos have been a bit infrequent. I'm working on Substack, and I'm also dining out. I'm just going to put up a video straight after this one on Nate Max, and he's on Telegram. I just put up one of the videos that he put up. He puts out content nearly every day. It's fantastic. But people might already be onto it. But him and a few others, I've been really watching other videos rather than making my own. But I will be making some more down the track. Once I get my Substack up and running, get into the groove with that, I just got to build the start of it. Anyway, that's a bit boring. Maybe the whole video is, I don't know. All right, that's it for this one.